Well, right now, we want to bring in Dr. Andrew Chan into this conversation. He's a cancer epidemiologist at Mass General Brigham. Thank you so much for being with us, because we know you know this data better than anyone. So do you agree drinking wine, beer, even an occasional margarita can cause cancer?
Yes, I think there is growing evidence that drinking alcohol is associated with cancer, and it isn't just a threshold effect. There isn't appear to be a safe level of alcohol use when it comes to cancer. It appears to be a linear risk, meaning the more you drink, the more your risk of cancer seems to increase. Now, you did mention some of the reasons for why alcohol might be linked with cancer, but I don't think we entirely know why. And it could be also related to some other factors, including the effects that alcohol has on our metabolism and the fact that people who drink alcohol also tend to gain weight.
Would you put drinking alcohol in the same category as smoking cigarettes? Because we know the dangers of that at this point, right? So would you put them in the same category?
Not quite. I think the link between alcohol and cancer has really been clarified over the last several years. And that's a contrast with smoking, which we've been aware of the risks of for many decades. And I think this reflects the fact that the data for alcohol and cancer has not been as consistent as it has been for smoking. And the fact that the magnitude of the increase in risk, at least for moderate or light alcohol use, is nowhere near the levels of risk that we see for people who smoke on a regular basis. So I think that they're in a different category, although they definitely increase risk of cancer.
And I think different people have different ideas of what moderate or light risk is or consumption is. I know plenty of people enjoy a glass of wine at dinner, maybe drinking a beer with friends. So for those who don't want to give it up completely or maybe are considered as, light consumption, is there a compromise here, like cutting back a little?
Well, I think it's important for people to know about the potential effects of alcohol use on cancer. But I think also we need to acknowledge that at low levels of use, like the occasional drink, the absolute increase in risk is small, certainly compared with other factors like smoking. So I think people should be aware of the potential risk, but still be able to make an individualized decision about whether to limit their intake. And people certainly shouldn't be alarmed that if they have that occasional glass of wine with dinner, that they're going to be destined to get cancer.
Right.
There's a lot of other factors that go into our risk of cancer. So I think we have to think about that in that context.
All right. Well, Dr. Chan, we really appreciate your insight on this, as this is just now coming out. We appreciate your time.